The air hung heavy, thick with soot and despair. A perpetual twilight cloaked the city, once a beacon of progress, now a graveyard of ambition. The clock tower, its gears rusted and jammed, stood as a stark reminder. Time had lost its meaning here. Only shadows remained. Yet even in this desolate landscape, life endured. A flicker of defiance against the encroaching darkness. Hidden within the ruins, hearts still beat. They beat with a desperate rhythm, a rhythm yearning for a forgotten melody, a melody of hope. Crumbling buildings scraped the sky. Their windows, like empty sockets, stared out at the wasteland. Streets, once bustling with life, now lay buried beneath rubble and dust. The echoes of laughter and joy had long since faded, replaced by the mournful sigh of the wind whistling through broken glass. Amidst this desolate landscape, a lone figure moved, a silhouette against the fading light, each step a testament to survival, each breath a defiance against despair. For even in the ruins, hope could still flicker, a tiny ember in the vast darkness.
Sadie clutched her sketchbook tightly. Her fingers, stained with charcoal, traced the lines of the ruined cityscape. Her eyes, reflecting the melancholy of her surroundings, held a depth beyond her years. She saw beauty in the decay, a haunting elegance in the ruins. The loss of her parents weighed heavily on her heart, a constant ache that threatened to consume her. Art was her escape, her sanctuary. Through charcoal and paper, she breathed life into the ruins. And for a fleeting moment, she felt a glimmer of hope.
A haunting melody drifted through the ruins, a mournful tune that seemed to emanate from the very soul of the city. It spoke of loss, of pain, of a longing for something lost forever, a cry for connection in a world shrouded in silence. The notes swirled and danced on the wind, carrying with them a weight of unspoken emotions. They spoke of love found and lost, of dreams shattered and forgotten. The melody was a tapestry woven from the threads of memory, each note a poignant reminder of a past both cherished and painful.
Liam's fingers danced across the worn strings of his violin. His eyes, hidden behind a curtain of dark hair, reflected the pain of a soul burdened by secrets.
Music was his solace, his only companion in a world that had grown too cold, too harsh. Each note he played was a lament, a cry of anguish for a past he could not escape. The loss of his family, the betrayal that haunted his dreams, all poured out through his music. He poured his heart and soul into every mournful chord, seeking solace in the symphony of his sorrow.
Ava moved with the grace of a phantom, her lithe form navigating the treacherous landscape with effortless ease. Her fiery red hair, a beacon against the gray backdrop of the ruins, seemed to defy the pervasive gloom.
She was a whirlwind of energy in a world starved of joy. Behind her confident facade, Ava carried a secret, a painful truth that she kept hidden from the world. She danced to silence the whispers of the past. Her movements, a language understood only by her heart, were a desperate plea for freedom. The wind whispered through the ruins, carrying with it fragments of forgotten stories and echoes of shattered dreams. It rustled through crumbling papers, scattering them like fallen leaves, whispers of truth hidden amongst the debris of a forgotten past. Secrets lay buried beneath the rubble, waiting to be unearthed. Whispers of love and betrayal, of hope and despair, intertwined in a tangled web of memory. Each gust of wind threatened to reveal the truth, a truth that could either heal or destroy.
Alex hunched over his notebook, his pen scratching across the pages, a frantic dance against the silence. He filled the blank spaces with stories.
Worlds born from his imagination, where hope still flickered and love conquered all. He wrote to escape the reality of his existence. Words were his shield, his weapon against the darkness that threatened to consume him. He wrote to make sense of the chaos, to find order in the ruins, each sentence a step towards understanding, each paragraph a desperate plea for meaning.
Alex carried the weight of his family's secret, a burden that had been passed down through generations. It haunted his thoughts, shaping his every word, every action. He longed to break free from the chains of the past, to forge his own path.
But the past had a way of clinging on, like a shadow that refused to be outrun. The truth he knew lay hidden within the pages of his family's history, a history he was both drawn to and terrified of uncovering. Fate, it seemed, had a plan for them. A plan that was set in motion on a day like any other. The air hung heavy with the threat of rain. The ruins, shrouded in a damp mist, seemed to close in on themselves. It was a day ripe for chance encounters, a day for destinies to collide. They came from different corners of the wasteland, each driven by their own demons, each seeking solace in the ruins. Little did they know that their paths were about to converge. In this desolate landscape, their lives were about to intertwine. The old theater stood as a monument to a forgotten era, its once grand facade now cracked and crumbling, the plush velvet seats ripped and torn, yet within its dilapidated walls, a spark of life still burned. It was a haven for dreamers and outcasts, a sanctuary from the storm. Inside, amidst the dust and decay, a group of artists had found refuge. They clung to their art as a lifeline, a way to make sense of the world around them. It was here, in this unlikely sanctuary, that Sadie, Liam, Ava, and Alex would find each other. Laughter echoed through the empty theater, a rare and precious sound in this desolate world.
We've been through so much, but moments like this, they make it all worth it.
Sadie, Liam, Ava, and Alex had formed an unlikely bond, drawn together by their shared pain and their yearning for something more.
It's strange, isn't it, how we found each other in the middle of all this chaos?
They found solace in each other's company. They shared stories and dreams.
I never thought I'd laugh again, but here we are, together.
They laughed and cried together. For a little while, they forgot the darkness that surrounded them.
In each other's eyes, we see a reflection of our own pain, a shared understanding that transcends words.
In each other's eyes, they saw a reflection of their own pain, a shared understanding that transcended words. Music filled the air. Liam's violin sang of heartache and hope.
Every note, every chord, it's like I'm pouring my soul out.
His fingers danced across the strings, weaving a tapestry of emotions. Sadie, lost in the music, felt her own pain resonating with each note.
It's as if he's playing the symphony of my soul.
It was as if he were playing the symphony of her soul. And then something shifted.
Sadie.
A spark ignited between them, a connection that went beyond words. In that moment, the world around them faded away. The air crackled with unspoken emotions. Sadie's heart pounded in her chest.
What is this feeling?
Liam's gaze held hers captive. In that shared glance, a silent promise was made.
I promise we'll get through this together.
A promise of solace and understanding. A promise of love blossoming in the ruins.
It's a forbidden love, isn't it?
It was a forbidden love, a dangerous attraction that threatened to shatter the fragile peace they had found.
But how can we resist this?
But in the face of such raw emotion, resistance seemed futile. They were drawn to each other like moths to a flame. As the last notes of Liam's violin faded away, a glimmer of hope pierced the darkness. It was the promise of a new day, a day where love might just conquer all. The journey ahead would be fraught with danger and uncertainty, but together they would face the shadows. Their love, a beacon in the darkness, would guide their way. The clock tower, as if awakened from a long slumber, began to chime. Time, it seemed, was starting anew.